Hey guys, Sensei George here. You're watching Kata to the Streets. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to deal with a flurry of strikes leading up into an arm break. This technique comes from an armor versus armor school system called Kukushininru. The technique is called Hosetsu, and that name translates into throwing your opponent like snow in a blizzard. So, the way that this technique starts off as, the kata starts with a right punch, block, left punch, block. They then try to throw a kick. From here, I move offline and I punch the leg, waiting for a follow-up punch. He comes with that, I throw this down out the way, then I grab his collar. This is normally for a technique called Kata jime, which is a single arm choke, but seeing as he's wearing a few different fabrics and different things like that, it doesn't move as easily. But what it does help is that if I block his following foot by either stepping on it or blocking the travel point, I'm going to put my weight on his toki, the instep, and then drive that down, which will throw him into the ground and most likely break his ankle if I were to keep it planted the whole entire way as he fell. So what he does from that posture now though, is I block once, he comes again, I block again, he comes to kick, I move offline, block that, he comes with the punch, I throw this down, I come in. He feels, he's got a little experience, he knows what's going on. He goes to block this up, and I grab the arm, travel it, leading it into this arm breaking posture right here, okay? You can see that that's where it would break. When training with a partner, it's important to emphasize the break, but then to letting them tighten it so that when you go to the throw, you don't actually break their elbow. The throw is by leading him forward, having this hip bump, and pulling his arm to your hip. So from this posture, over, okay? Notice how Kevin tucked his chin, and he treated it like a forward roll over his left shoulder because his right arm was already being pulled back. So that's from the uke side, and very important to pay attention to as well. So let's go through this one more time. Punch, block, kick, block, punch, block. Going for the choke, he clears, feed that through, come underneath, break, tighten, throw, okay? So it's a very important aspect. So one thing that you want to be paying attention about, this is an armor versus armor system. When that punch comes, he has a lot of weight loading over this. I try to jam this arm to throw him back. He comes in for the next punch, same thing. Now the kick and the follow-up is a very important point. When that kick comes and I move offline and I blast it, that's his weight of him committing the kick. So rewind. This kick is coming up and is getting ready to extend. I move offline from here and I blast that leg. That really throws his balance off. He'd have a lot of weight and additional armor on there, which would cause him to reset. This front arm is no longer in distance to punch. If he chooses to do a long punch, this arm's already forward so that you can block it. But he's following up with that rear hand in which you block, place down, enter. And then he clears, reset, line up, and go. Now, what's really cool about Hosetsu, to throw your opponent like snow, is that it has 4 angles of attack. When you attack the final arm, so do the right punch, and I come in for this choke, we're set up to be able to actually clear it from the inside and outside, high and low. So if he goes to roll his arm up high, and I transfer it and it comes down low, this is where I go into that break. Now, if he comes into it, and I come in and he clears his arm up, and I go with his arm high, what I do is I feed it into here and come around, extending the arm. So I come in with his arm lock, and instead of just taking him down with the arm lock, I let the arm open up, ride it over into the elbow, leading into the break, same throw. And important, make sure your opponent tightens their elbow so that when you bump them up, it's protected. So show you guys that technique from the beginning. Punch, push down, lock, he comes in, clear, stay high, extend, he tightens it, step back, bring it up, over, down. From here, you have your strikes. Now, we're gonna talk about how to get to the outside with this technique. So when the opponent comes with his right punch, block, left punch, block. Now with the kick, what's gonna happen is he's gonna kick the groin. This hand that's already high is gonna fly down to his hip and do a hip punch. So I come from here, high block, down to the hip, my left hand stays up and I move to the outside in case that follow-up punch comes through. So rewind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my hand stays high. From here, I slide in for sankaku jime and begin to get a choke. He clears this by raising his arm up. From here, I move it back down, step in, same lock and break. Now, that's what to do if I can get his arm down low. If he ends up pulling his arm to himself out of fear, this is when we just do a basic arm lock and drag him down to the ground. From here, we maintain control. Okay? Now, let's get to the focus of Kata to the streets. How to do this in a few different street applications. The first one we're going to do is how to deal with a counterattack from my jab. So say if I did a jab, he smacks it down, and he comes to back fist me in the face. Now he's going to move his body behind my feet to try and get this reap. It's a very popular throw in judo. What I'm going to do is capture his arm while he's doing this. He's feeding it to me. Step to the outside, and look at this wrist. I pull it to my hip, palm down. It's working because it is a wrist escape in which I pull towards his thumb, and I clear that. Upon clearance, I place it back on his tricep, step forward with both my arms, same technique, break, throw. Okay, one more time. Jab, roll down, back fist, he knocks you in the face, cover his hand as you go step behind, step out, pull your wrist, escape, use both hands to get up on the arm, break the elbow, cast him away. Now, the last instance that we're going to be talking about using Hosetsu is to deal with a cable or rear naked choke. So, in this instance, you're minding your business, someone comes up and slips you into a rear naked choke or a cable choke. From here, I tuck my chin and I make sure that I can get some air to breathe. I turn in a little and I hit him in the groin with either the elbow or a free hand. That's going to loosen him up. From this point, my hand peels his hand off and I send it over palm up. Catch that. That's very important. So I send it over palm up as I step. 1, 2. Then I feed that palm to my other free hand, keep it clear, extend, break, then throw. So we're gonna go through this one medium speed so you guys can see it. Cover, strike, palm up, clear, cover, break, bump over, twist. One more time. Cover, strike down to the groin. Keep this palm up, peel it off, extend it out, break it, let your opponent, as uke, tighten it to protect his arm, bump him up with your hips, whip him over. From here, there's 1,001 pins you can do. I'll show you one just for law enforcement, okay? What you do is you drag the arm, you pull it towards his head, drive that down, place your knee into the pit, and maintain his wrist. From here, tap with your feet when you feel this. You just use your pressure, and you can apply to the wrist and break it. But from here, this is where I would handcuff, transition, and then give me your other arm. Give me your other arm. Do the second one, and then worry for backup. You can do moderate techniques and always control how far you need to go. You don't need to break his arm. You can actually do one other variation in which you could bring him down off to the side. I'll show this as a way to downscale a technique. So he comes in for the choke. I did everything. I struck him in the groin. I got him this far. But say I don't want to break this arm. I'm trying to be a little bit nicer and be mindful of my compliance for whatever organization you may be a part of. While I maintain it, all I'm going to do is whip him down to my right side. Everything else is the same. And I maintain this control so that I can work as necessary to get what I need. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. This is, again, Sensei George for What Would Ninjas Do. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know some things you guys want to check out or some Goshin Jutsu or practical applications that you would like to see. Thank you for watching. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.